So welcome back to our small biz shout outs, showcases, whatever it is that we call it. I feel like I forget every time. My brain just goes mental. But I've got the lovely Becky Street with me, from International Health and Wealth, who's all things forever living. And you've got some products to show us today, haven't you, to talk us through
I
it?
have indeed, yes, my favourites.
Oh, so what is number one on your recommendation list that you would say if you've never tried Forever Living before, you should start with this?
The drinking gel. So this comes in different flavours. So if you're a bit about the original, there aren't other flavours available. So this is sort of number one. It's basically an all-round health tonic. So it's the inner leaf gel from the aloe plant. So we do the plain, mango, peach, and berry nectar, which is apples and cranberries. And there's also another one slightly different for joints. So it's gut health, skin, energy, immune system, basic circulation, basically all your whole body. It's just a natural health tonic.
Yeah. So I know a friend of mine, God, this was years and years ago. I used to work as a nursery nurse, and she swore by it because she used to get a lot of bloating and stuff. And she swore by it. She used it all the time to kind of help with that. And she said, "Oh, you don't need to be on IBS medication. You just take this stuff and it really does the job." And I did try it for a while. I think back then though, they didn't have as many flavors, and the flavor that I had it's a bit of an acquired taste, isn't it? But
Yeah. And the
do
old
get me into it.
formula that was in like the square bottles,
Yes, that's what I had.
the texture wasn't great, whereas it's a much better texture, much better flavour. Like I say, it's come loose. I had him by the collar and he's come loose. He's managed to get out this collar. So yeah, the texture is much better nowadays. I can pay to salute. The joys don't work with pets and kids.
Pets and kids, I know. It's always the thing. But yeah, it's one of those ones. I think the best flavors. I know I've tried. Is it the peach? I've tried the peach one, haven't I?
Yeah,
That's a really nice one. So I think it's kind of, even if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can have that, it's just actually getting to try the different flavors and knowing which ones suit you. I mean, let's face it, medicine never really tastes that nice. So at least actually some of them, especially the peach and the mango, the more kind of stronger fruity flavors, they don't taste bad at all. Like, you get that kind of little, after, but you knowing that it's good for your health. And I think the more you drink it as well, the less you notice.
definitely, you do get used to it, definitely, and I can drink it no problem.
Yes,
And I used to struggle.
yeah. Well, it's a thing. I mean, I tried from our lovely Nicola the body, it's like a slim thing, and oh, it was disgusting to start off with, and actually by the end of the week, like at the end of the 2 week course, I was like, it's not bad actually. It's not too bad. Like, so it's funny how you can train yourself to kind of know it's good for me, drink it, and eventually, your brain say it's fine, it's good. Don't even notice it anymore. So what would you say? What would you because does the flavors impact like the percentages of the aloe or things like that?
Yeah. So the plain one is 99.7%. So this has got basically pure aloe with a bit of vitamin C. God, you're starting again. Oh no, I can't. Oh, I'll give him that one. I can reprint that. And it goes down. The lowest is about 80%, so it's still very, very concentrated. Really can't remember the exact figures, but yeah. So if it's a fruit flavoured one, you're going to have a bit less. But yeah,
it'll swings around about. It'll taste sweeter, but it's one of those. It's not. I prefer to have the taste. And do you normally take them in the morning, or like what's your recommendation of when to take them?
Yeah, so it's best to take it first thing on an empty stomach. So it needs to be kept in the fridge once it's open. Yeah, dogs. Don't work with dogs. So yeah, first thing on an empty stomach, suggest between 60 and 120 ml a day. Depending on exactly what you're trying to get from it.
Okay. And do you kind of like work with, I'm guessing that, you work with the individuals to kind of figure out what it is their needs are to let them know what the
Yeah,
right dosage is. Oh, that's good.
yeah. So with certain conditions, it's best to start off on a really, really low dose and then work your way up. Whereas generally, it's start off on sort of normal dose, or for some people, it's better to start off high to really get it in, and then you can bring it back down. So yeah, I'm happy to obviously talk to people about the best way to go about it.
That's good. I think that's the one thing that sometimes it can, when you're buying from a shop or this, not the other, you only get that initial kind of like, this is what it does, and then you kind of get left to it. And then sometimes you're like left floundering and like, oh, I don't know what the best thing is. So it's nice that you kind of got that support as well. So it's not that they're just buying a product from you, they're also buying your kind of your recommendations, your kind of guidance and support and things like that, which is really key, I
Definitely.
think.
And yeah, once I've sort of sold a product and whatever the product may be and spoken about how to use it and all that, I'm always there. They've always got my contact details for, any questions. If something, if there's anything of a question, or they're like, well, is this normal or whatever it is, then yeah, I'm always there.
That's fantastic. So what's product number 2 then? What else have you got
So
for
this, I always talk about this on the events.
Yeah.
It's the therm. So one of its uses is to boost the metabolism, but I take it for energy because it's packed full of B vitamins, as well as other things. And yeah, it just, because I suffer with ME, so my energy levels naturally are very, very low. But with taking this, I mean, so just as a bit of a guideline as to how much it's helped me. So without any products, I'd be lucky to do 2,000 steps a day. With the drinking gel, I'd do about 4,000. Whereas with these as well, I do on average about 8,000 steps, and I can do more. Obviously, depending on what else I'm doing. So yeah, it's just to have that sort of energy with the conditions I've got, it's just never thought it would happen. So these have been an absolute game changer for me.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, like you say, because of those conditions, that's what makes it harder. Imagine if you didn't have those conditions, but you did lack the energy. I mean, gosh, they could be doing like 30,000 steps a day, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think especially this time of year when it's starting to get a little bit brighter, but it's still quite dark. It's still quite, you're still waking up in the dark, and you're still going to, kind of, well, doing nearly both the school runs in the dark, isn't it, really? It's nice to kind of get that little bit of energy and boost of energy from something else when we're lacking it from the sun. And yeah, we get all we in us Brits, we do get a lot of sad, don't we, in the
Definitely. And that's if you need that extra boost, because it's just absolutely amazing. It's got natural caffeine in, so don't take it too close to bedtime. But it is natural caffeine, so unless you've got a sensitivity, it's not going to have the negative effects that like a cup of coffee could, or too much coffee could have.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. So I know sometimes, is that the only product that contains like caffeine and things in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's good to know.
So there are other products that can be used for energy as well, but that's the one that has helped me the most.
Yeah.
But there are other things available if anyone's thinking, well, I want energy, but I've got a caffeine sensitivity,
Yeah.
or whatever. Then
that's me. That is. I tried a product a while ago, and it was caffeine, and I was, it made me really ill. It's strange though, isn't it? Like how you go through life being like, I don't drink tea or coffee, so I'd never known that caffeine was. It was
yeah,
because I was, like I say, lacking in that energy and kind of needing that pick me up. And I think when I was taking this, I thought I was pregnant because I felt feeling sick and like this, that, and the other. I was like, oh God, what's going on? And then I realized, like, oh, it's because I'm taking these caffeine tablets to kind of help give me the energy. And I went, stopped that, and straight away it stopped. So I'm like, hey,
yeah. So you want the bee pollen? That's all your B vitamins. It's packed full of B vitamins, but it hasn't got any caffeine.
right.
So I mean, that helps me, not as much, but it does help. But I know so many people that rely on that for that boost of energy.
Yeah. Okay, it's good to know. Good to know. And what else have you got? It's like a little treasure trove of goodies.
So this is our newest product. It came out in December. So we had a heat lotion, but because of silly EU rules, and even though we're not in the EU, our products come via Rotterdam. So therefore we have to stick to the rules as far as forever in the UK is concerned. One of the ingredients, even though the amount we had was not going to cause any harm, the EU decided you couldn't have that ingredient. So now I've got the cooling lotion, and it works pretty much the same, but obviously hasn't got that heat effect. So any aches and pains, yeah, whether that's from exercising without stretching properly, whether it's from health conditions, you can rub it on if you know that, you know, some people rub it onto their muscles before a workout. It smells gorgeous. It's got eucalyptus and menthol. I haven't got much sense of smell, but I love the smell of this. And it kind of tingles, but in a good way. It's really, it's a bizarre feeling the first time, but it is amazing. And again, I suffer lots of aches and pains because of my conditions, and it's, yeah, it's when I was getting rid of the heat lotion, I thought, oh, I bet this won't be as good. It won't be as good, and I prefer it.
Oh, that's good, because I have to say I vouched for this the heat lotion, because I had one of those, and I remember coming back from the gym and I'd overworked and I was like, my arms were killing me, I could barely move them, and I was rubbing it in. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I could feel it like getting hot, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's going to get rid of the pain. I was like, you know, and like I didn't feel it straight away, like the lack of, obviously I felt the heat and I was like, okay, that's nice. I was like, I can still feel the pain. I was like, no, it doesn't work. And then it was the next day, I woke up and I hadn't even realized, like, shit, but nothing. Like there's no ache at all. And I was so shocked, because that happened. Like, even when you use like deep heat and stuff, it pretty much just comes back as soon as it's worn off. It's that's it. But I was like, yeah, the next day I was like, oh my God, I don't even ache anymore. Now I can go back and do it all over again. No,
yeah, I think for our products, because of the aloe, it goes right down the layers of your skin and your muscle and goes right into where it's needed rather than just sitting on the surface.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's another one that I love.
They only use like the good part of the aloe plant, don't they? They don't use any other rubbish. They just use
don't use the outer leaf. That just goes back on the soil, because the outer leaf doesn't do you any good. So yeah,
all good juju. So is that we've got another product?
So I've got one more. So the C9.
Oh, I've heard a lot about this.
New branding. It's changed the look. What's inside is exactly the same. So that is our 9-day sort of cleanse. So I'm currently on day 9 of that. So the last day, done the DX4, which comes before, doing the F15 after, or you can just do it as a standalone. So it's sort of a 9-day sort of reset. So it looks at what sort of foods are good for you. And it's good because you've got that plan, because we all know what we're meant to do. But let's face it, we don't. So it looks at healthy foods. You have, it depends whether you've done the DX4 or not as to exactly how the plan goes, but basically it's 2 shakes a day, which, lovely. I love our shakes. I have them every day anyway. Then there's various supplements in there to help your body to get rid of toxins. So we've got the gel, which is really good for getting rid of toxins. We've got ones to help you. We've got fibre, obviously that keeps you full and keeps everything moving. There's the therm, like I said, that's energy and metabolism. If anyone wasn't great with the therm, I can always give you some of the bee pollen instead, because that used to be in there. The Garcinia helps to curb the cravings. So you have 2 shakes a day, supplements, your gel, and then 600 calories, which doesn't sound much, but actually if it's 600 calories of the right food, then it's plenty. And there's certain fruit and veg and seeds and things that you don't count in those 600 calories. So you can have like say a side salad or some veg or whatever without it counting. So I'm on day 9 and I've noticed that I'm less bloated, less sluggish, and my clothes are feeling looser. So I took pictures Sunday gone and the Sunday before, and I can't believe that they're only a week apart. If I didn't know, I think they've been photoshopped, or the difference. In 9 days is just amazing.
Yeah, I did see your photos, and it is kind of just like, you're like, oh, look at that! Like, it's just, it gets rid of all that. I say, some of the bulges and things like that. Sounds terrible, you know what I mean? Like, you get a little bit more. I think a lot of the time it's water retention, like where you get that kind of water retention and things, and it's just, it just smooths everything out from,
Plus, in the water retention and toxins, it's crazy how many toxins you carry. So to get rid of the toxins, to get rid of the water retention, and to make you think differently about food,
because as soon as you look in the mirror and you can tell a difference, even if you're not necessarily going on the scales and seeing a difference, if you're looking and you can see it with your eyes, it just makes you feel like, I want to be more healthy. I like this feeling. I want to carry on doing it. So even if it's just that initial step to kind of, like, say, almost retrain your brain into thinking healthy and to thinking like, kind of being more confident and stuff. Sounds like a magic solution.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And that's the thing. So I always say to people, the scales, if you lose pounds, that's great, but weight fluctuates anyway. So you're going to weigh yourself one day, you're going to be a different weight to the next day. That's the way it works. But if you're looking at either measuring the inches, which I usually do, but I haven't done this time, or taking those before and after pictures, think about how you feel, how your clothes fit. That's so much more important than what the scales say.
Absolutely, it is. It's how you feel when you look at yourself in your clothes, in yourself. That is the most important thing. And knowing that what you're putting in is good also helps with that psychology, because you just feel like, I'm on the inside and it's showing on the outside, and it's a lovely circle of feeling good. Oh, bless. So your favorite product then, out of every single product that you've ever used, is it still the Therm?
It's still the Therm? Yeah.
And
every year new products are released, so you never know what gets released this year. Might be even better, because I've no idea what's going to be released. But it's going to take some beating to beat the Therm.
Absolutely. And like, obviously every product that Forever do is, it's got that aloe. I mean, you do deodorants and soaps and like just general like day-to-day self-care products and things like that. So it's not just thinking of those big ticket items and thinking, the C9s and things like that. There's so much everyday things that you can kind of do a switch, kind of more sensitive and good products. I mean, my mom is obsessed with the aloe lips. Every time she's just like, can you order me another 3? Can you order me another? She's like, she has them dotted around everywhere, because she says, I've tried so many different lip balms. She says nothing ever has the same effect as this. She says they just feel so luscious.
It's a bit like our sanitizer. So when COVID first hit, and the kids were having to sanitize, we all were, but the kids in schools, and my one niece, she's 11 now, so she must have been about 8 at the time, and her hands were red raw from the sanitizers. And my sister, she bought loads of different ones, trying to find something, and they all made her hands sore. So I said, here you go, try this. And she tried ours, and her hands weren't sore anymore. So bless her, at the age of 8, my little niece kept saying, aren't Becky's hand sanitizers ever so good? So, like I say, right down to those smaller, sort of cheaper products, it's just, they don't, it doesn't dry your hands out, because I know obviously that was a big thing as well, people having dry hands and all the rest of it. And
yes,
yeah,
definitely a price, definitely a price to cleanliness, isn't there, sometimes?
Yeah.
Typical. Oh, bless. Well, those sound like amazing products, and I'm really like kind of happy to talk to you about all the products and all the amazing effects that they've had on you and your health. And obviously, you're available for people to kind of talk to about any health conditions that they have. Where can they find you, Becky?
So you can find me on Facebook, Becky Street, or my email address is admin@beckystreet.com, or my phone number to either phone or text is 0794 1680357.
Lovely. And you've also got a Facebook group, Becky's Health Hub, as well, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so you give lots of hints and tips on how to live a healthy life using the products, and kind of using and not using, doing it kind of your own thing.
Yeah, trying to sort of a mixture, so it's not just about the products, it's also about, I'll put something on there, the one about stretching and stuff like that, so it's not all about how to eat, so it's not just all about the products, but obviously the products do feature in there.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, Becky. And you are going to be a part of our next event, which is the Spring Spectacular. So we'll get you, we'll get to see even more about your products and kind of how we can get our hands on them for that. So very excited. I'm going to leave you with your lovely dog. I'm sure he's going to get telling off when this is over and be like,
oh God, yes.
You had one, it was just for this long and you couldn't even do it. I do that to my kids. I prep them before I come live or do any kind of recording. I'm doing this. Please just stay in the room. When I'm finished, I will come to you. Never.
Well, yeah, I gave Billy a carrot to try and keep him quiet, but it lasted about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's the joys. I mean, if it can happen on live television with that guy and his nanny, it can happen with anybody.
Exactly.
But thank you very much, Becky. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.